Missouri Republican Congresswoman Vicki Hartzler, a senior member of the Armed Services Committee, introduced that bill, and she joins me now. Congresswoman, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Let's show viewers what your bill would do. Keep funding from ever being used within DoD schools to teach CRT. Keep DoD schools from teaching that the United States is inherently racist. Keep DoD schools from teaching that a student should feel guilt or anguish because of their race or the behavior of historical members of their race. Keep DoD schools from teaching that an individual's moral character or value is determined by their race. Why, in your view, Congresswoman, is this necessary?
I'm a former school teacher. I'm also a senior member of the Armed Services Committee, and the thought that our Department of Defense could be teaching our children that their country is inherently racist, and certainly the children of our men and women in uniform, is just abhorrent, and we need to make sure this doesn't happen. The Department of Defense teaches and oversees over 70,000 of our children, of our men and women in uniform, at 160 bases around the world and here in America. And I want to make sure that they are taught that this is the greatest country in the world, and they should be proud of our country and shouldn't be ashamed of who they are based on their skin color.
I want to play a clip from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, and I will ask you to respond.
We do not teach critical race theory. We don't embrace critical race theory, and I think that's a spurious conversation. Your
thoughts, Congresswoman?
Well, if he doesn't like it, then he should embrace my bill and make sure that it doesn't happen. But we know that in the Air Force academies and some of the other academies, they are teaching critical race theory. We do know that the Biden administration supports a lot of this. In fact, in the Department of Education's handout that they gave to all K through 12 schools, they listed a very radical CRT group as a resource. And then only after public outrage did they pull that from their guidance. And so we have an administration here who is very much sympathetic to this, and I want to make sure and be proactive that our kids whose parents are defending our nation are not taught this very poisonous curriculum.
You and I have spoken before about your big picture concern about critical race theory. You mentioned you're a former teacher. Why does CRT alarm you so much?
Well, no child should be taught that their destiny is determined by their skin color or that America is an inherently racist nation. That is not reality. It is a changing of history, a rewriting of history, and it's very toxic. And certainly in the military, we need to be working towards unity and cohesion and not dividing our troops into different groups based on their skin color. It doesn't make sense. And in America, we need to continue to embrace our traditional model of e pluribus unum, out of many one. That is the strength of our nation, is that we come from many different backgrounds, but we are all Americans. And that should be the goal. That should be what we teach our kids, and that their future is limitless. The American dream is alive and well, and not be indoctrinated with something that's going to be damaging to them and ultimately damaging to the future of our country.